The first element is the module or the pixel, which is the essence of every video game ever created. The second element is the triangle, to give a touch of culture, which is the essence of our country. The third element is the arc, which implies the human touch, which is the essence of local production. All of these three elements will not only create a strong interior implementation, but also a strong company foundation. Pixelate, the ultimate Saudi video game production company. The logo uses 8-bit font inspired by original video games. The gradient is used to imply revolution. The triangular shapes imply culture. The breaks in the letter X and the number 8 imply composition. Squares, cubes, triangles, arcs, compositions of pixels, gradients, and neon lights is used to successfully imply the concept. The project uses the triadic color scheme to emphasize the balance between the three elements of the concept. Raw and futuristic materials are used to imply balance between the elements. The projects aim to diversify the country income, take advantage of the growing esports field in Saudi Arabia, provide job opportunities, and foster the local talent. Following video games development stages diagram helped organize the workspace in the project. The site is located in Al Ulayya in Riyadh, specifically facing the Al Faisaliya Tower. This diagram shows the environmental impact on the site, the surrounding streets, and the nearby landmarks. The following diagram shows the flow of zones and vertical circulation in the ground, first, and second floor. This diagram shows the permanent, temporary, and targeted users of the project. These flowcharts depict the journey of three different users in the building, including the used zones and interior aesthetic. This 3D zoning diagram shows the general zones of the building in each floor, employees and startup zone and the public zone in the ground floor, administration and work zone in the first floor, the public library in the second floor. The mass consists of the main axis mass, which acts as the vertebrae of the building. Then there are the two smaller arc masses that pass through the main mass, with a shifting in the wider mass to imply movement. Then courts are added to make the building less bulky and add a touch of nature. Finally, cube masses are added at the ends of the main mass, and a gradient is used to imply composition and a strong revolution in the field. Here is the second view of the mass, which shows the main entrance and drop point at night. The third view of the mass shows the mass and landscape from a bird's-eye perspective at daytime. The site plan shows the top view of the building, with indication to the main, public, and service entrance. In addition, the site shows the continuity, composition, and outdoor activities, including a paddle court, table tennis, and sitting areas in the site. Starting with the ground floor plan, the first zone is the main entrance, which is strictly for employees, startups, investors, and lecturers. The second zone is the investors area, where startups can meet with investors to pitch their ideas. These two zones constitute the first blow-up, which clearly show a concept of composition and revolution by starting off with squares, then transitioning into smooth triangles. This blow-up houses the reception, waiting areas on the sides, panoramic elevators for employees. Going to the investors area, the first thing they see is the promotional screens used to present startups' work. Then, the cubicles where investors meet with startups. These cubicles are surrounded by seating areas for startups to wait in. The following perspectives show the investors area and the entrance. The investors area uses gradient glass and a light fall ceiling to maintain the concept, but with a more luxurious touch. The entrance used dark raw materials with neon lights to create a futuristic dark environment with a human raw touch. Going back to the floor plan, the third zone is the employees and startups cafeteria. The fourth zone is the innovation chamber, which is the second blow-up. This zone is targeted towards startups where they can turn their ideas into interactivity. This zone houses a brainstorming space, a gathering space, and a group working space. Here you can see the axonometric diagram of the space, showing the triangular wall claddings, flooring materials, and the false ceiling. The perspective focuses on the brainstorming area, which shows the couch, the sitting cushions, and the smart whiteboard that startups can use. Going back to the floor plan, the fifth zone is the employees' service area, the WC, and the prayer hall. The stairs double as an amphitheater to attend occasional lectures. This area is the public entrance, housing a reception, sitting area, services, a merch shop, and a promotional exhibition with vertical circulation directly to the second floor. The public zone houses a theater for special events and launches, a mini museum, a WC, a multi-purpose exhibition hall for special events and comic cons. The second public area houses a public cafeteria, a gathering and a board game area, an arcade zone, a PC cafe zone, and the public motion games area, which is the third blow up. This zone allows gamers to play VR games, light tile game, and console games. The first perspective shows the PC cafe unit, which is a triangular shaped table with numbered PC setups ready for gaming. The second perspective shows the console gaming zone, which made of a painted triangular partition covered with plexiglass and lit with LEDs with metal sheet signage. This unit is shaped into a triangle to imply the local touch. It has interactive RGB LEDs and a hologram housed in a triangular glass tunnel in the middle of the unit, which interacts with the played game. The table itself is made from brushed anodized stainless steel, and the PC backing pieces is made from painted plywood. Here is an axonometric diagram clearly showing the three zones. These perspectives show each zone from the inside: the VR, the light tiles, and the console gaming. The last zone in the ground floor is the electronic room zone, with vertical circulation to the first floor electronic room. Here you can see the ground floor cords and the connection between the two arc masses. Going to the first floor plan, the first zone is the CEO office area. The facing zone is the administration and post-launch monitoring area. Then there is the employees service area housing a WC, locker room, and a prayer hall. The first work area is the pre-production area, where employees can conceptualize and prototype their ideas. It houses the developer's workstation, open working spaces, meeting rooms, a WC, the art department, and prototyping studio, which is the fourth blow-up. This blow-up focuses on the art department, the prototyping studio, and an open work area. These spaces allow employees to start designing the video games and use traditional art methods like sculpting. The first perspective shows the open work area containing couches and cushions with a projector screen for employees to use. The second perspective shows the prototyping studio interior with a court view housing 8 working desks and boards for employees to use. The third perspective shows the other open work area that can be used for brainstorming or casual meetings. Going back to the first floor plan, this zone is the isolation chambers, where employees can take a quiet break or answer a phone call. The second work zone is the production work zone, where employees start to make their ideas come true. This zone houses the animation workstations, game testing area, an open workspace, audio studio, and a motion capturing studio, which is the fifth blow-up. The first perspective shows the motion capture area with sensors and screen on the wall in relation to the director and producer desks on the side. The second perspective is a close-up of the producer's desks. In addition, it shows the door design and storage shelves for the equipment. Here's the 3D section of the studio showing the flooring, ceiling, and wall designs in addition to the furnishings. Here's a 360 view clip of the studio. Going back to the first floor plan, you can see the courts and the double heights. Going up to the second floor, which serves a single function, a digital and regular library for the public to visit. In this perspective, you can see the logo sign on the reception desk in the main entrance. This perspective shows the signage on the public theater doors. The theater sign is a neon light hanged from the ceiling, and the entrance numbers is a small plastic text lights placed in a slanted painted triangle. This section shows the slope of the main mass. In addition, it shows the entrances, the middle court, and the motion games zone. Every human being has a part of their soul longing for entertainment. We are here to meet people's needs, even if they are at the very top of the hierarchy. Here lies the essence of our specialization. Thank you all for listening.